Welcome back to Passionately Catholic. So we are in our series of taking a look at Dave Ramsey's baby steps, his financial baby steps to be financially stable and to prepare well for our future so that we can have a greater sense of peace even in the midst of the world, so we can pray to God and ask God, how do you want me to use the blessings and the financial resources you've given me? How do you want me to use those well and to make a contribution to my church and my community and nonprofits and things that I really care about and want to make a difference in? So being financially wise is really key component, I think, for if we're going to be passionately Catholic. This is part of our overall health, our physical health, spiritual health, emotional health, relationship health. There's also our financial health. Now, I offer this passionately Catholic commentary on these baby steps, not because I have a relationship with Dave Ramsey. I'm not an affiliate for Dave Ramsey or anything like that, but I found these to be very useful in my own life, and I think putting a passionately Catholic spin on them could be useful as well. So I'm really excited to share this whole series with you. Baby step number 4 is investing 15% of your gross household income in retirement plans. 15% of gross income in retirement plans. Now, this could be, if you're married, this would be you and your spouse. You take 15% of what you make as a household income, and it's gross, which means off the top. Okay, net would be what you have after taxes, all that stuff. Gross is right off the top. Okay, this is what we're going to put into our retirement savings, and the money goes in there. It doesn't even exist. Okay, and this is the best part about taking care of it right away, is it doesn't even exist. You're not even looking at it, and you're not living without it if you, in your head, you never had it. Okay, so you put it into retirement right away. Why 15%? A lot of financial planners recommend at least 10%, that you're putting at least 10% of your gross household income into your retirement planning so that you can live at a similar standard of living as you're used to now. It would be kind of a difficult thing for a lot of people to get to retirement age, get to an older age, or maybe suffer from a health condition or something like that that requires us to stop working maybe quite a bit earlier than what we're planning on. There's a lot of people who plan to even continue working into their retirement, but there's a good chunk of them who are not able to do so due to a health condition that develops later in life. So it's very important to make sure that we're saving generously for our future. And this also puts us in a position where we're being smart with our money now, and we're not overspending our money now, and we're also being smart and being generous and making a contribution with our money now. Okay, making sure we're taking care of our local church, our community, local charities, extended charities, national and international charities, and that we're making this contribution both now and preparing for that in the future as well. So taking this 15%, setting this aside, what does Dave Ramsey recommend in terms of how to save this stuff? First of all, he recommends, if you are blessed with a 401k plan, if your employer offers this, if there's, you take advantage of your 401k plan first, especially if there's a match. Okay, that's really the key thing. So say that your employer will match up to, say, 5% of what you're putting into a retirement plan. So say, to make things easy, say you're making $100,000, so 5% is $5,000 a year. So if you put $5,000 a year into your 401k with your employer's going to match that $5,000. So boom, there's 10 grand. So this is why a lot of financial planners will recommend, first and foremost, take advantage of any match provided by your employer. Because if you're saving that 5% right off the bat and your employer's matching that 5%, boom, there's 10%. Like you've got that taken care of. If you're blessed to have that opportunity, that's a great thing to take advantage of. Now, a lot of times 401k plans don't offer the same robust opportunities, the same investment vehicles as you would have by going and working privately with an investment professional, or even doing it yourself. Okay, I tend to actually be a big fan of Vanguard. We do some investing, personal investing in Vanguard because it's very inexpensive, and I've done a lot of research and have done a lot of self-education in terms of financial planning and how to do that well. And a lot of people talk about Vanguard and the advantages of Vanguard. And again, I don't have a special relationship with Vanguard. I don't have an affiliate account with Vanguard. I don't get any financial kickback by recommending Vanguard at all, but it's worked really well for me. I found that to be very useful, so I definitely recommend that as well to somebody who's looking for an opportunity. So With a 401k, once you get that match with your 401k, then you have an opportunity to start looking at investing a little bit more on the side, okay? Because a lot of 401k plans don't have a lot of options in terms of investing, and you might be able to get a better deal, a better price on certain investment vehicles, mutual funds, index funds, all of those kinds of things by going elsewhere. So what Dave Ramsey would recommend next is to invest in an IRA, which is an individual retirement account. Now, big advantages of both 401ks, retirement plans, and IRAs is that they're able to, while they're growing, they can grow tax-free. The government allows these to grow tax-free, and that is absolutely huge. Okay, now there are limits in terms of how much money you can take out of these accounts because they're retirement accounts, and you don't want to. Okay, some people will take out loans against their IRAs or against their 401k. Definitely don't recommend that. I mean, if you're in an emergency situation, that might be an option of situation that you might need to take advantage of. But basically, when you're saving for retirement, you want to save that money and you want to leave it alone. Okay, let that money grow, let that compound interest work for you and build and grow over time. That's really, really key. So why put money into an IRA? And a lot of people talk about a Roth IRA and the advantages of a Roth IRA at this point. Now, keep in mind, I am not a licensed, financial advisor by any means. You got to take this all with a grain of salt. Okay, this is stuff that I found very useful for myself. I'm not a professional on this. I'm not giving you financial advice that you should absolutely take. You need to look this stuff through. I'm just sharing with you some things that have worked for me. Okay, so Roth IRAs. What's the difference between a Roth IRA versus a traditional IRA? So a traditional IRA, what you're going to do with that is you are going to be able to take the money and put it into the IRA before paying taxes on it. So think of it this way. It works like a 401k. Okay, so what you do with your 401k is your employer is going to take this money out of your paycheck so you don't even see it, and it's going to go into your 401k. Okay, so it's that money that you put into your 401k is going to be taken out of how much money you made that year. Okay, so it's not going to be taxable. But later on with your IRA or with a 401k, because with your IRA you'll make the money. Okay, you'll get it in your paycheck and then you'll put it into your IRA, or you can have it taken out. Sometimes you can have it taken out from your employer and put right into an IRA. So that money is going to go in there, and if your employer takes it out, then you don't even see it. If you're getting the paycheck and then you're putting it into the IRA yourself or with a financial planner, what's going to happen is when you do your taxes at the end of the financial year is that is going to be deducted from your income. So it's going to be like you never even earned that money. Okay, so the government is not going to tax you on that money because you put it into a retirement account because you didn't have it. But here's the thing is when you get to the point of hitting retirement age and you're going to be taking money out of your 401k or taking it out of your IRA to live off of or what have you, you're going to get taxed on it then. Okay, because then you're making the income. The advantage to a Roth IRA is it doesn't get taken out of your paycheck. You're being paid your paycheck, and then from your paycheck, you're going to put money into a Roth IRA, individual retirement account. Okay, now you do get taxed on that money. The government is not going to give you a deduction on your taxes for that money that you're putting in. Okay, so you might even have less money to be able to put into a Roth IRA compared to a traditional IRA. So people would be like, well, why wouldn't you want to do that? Why wouldn't you want the tax deduction now? Because the advantage of a Roth IRA is when you get to retirement age and you start to take the money out, is you don't have to pay taxes on it then. So kind of something that you need to consider is right now, do I think that I'm going to be in a higher tax bracket now, or am I going to be in a higher tax bracket in the future? Now, if you're smart and you're starting this hopefully young, okay, and you're starting your financial planning, you're starting to invest and prepare for retirement young, then hopefully if you're doing this well, you should be able to retire with a lot more money than you're living off of right now, which means that you're going to be in a higher tax bracket in your retirement years than you're going to be in right now, which means that a Roth IRA is going to, for many people, if you're in this situation, is going to be a better investment vehicle for you because you'd rather pay the taxes on it now while you're in a lower tax bracket, then later on, when you hopefully have good amount of resources and you're being able to be really generous with those resources with church and charity and all kinds of other opportunities, is you're going to be in a higher tax bracket, so you don't want to be taxed on that money later. Now, there's also, the advantage of using diversification, and I've actually found myself in this situation as well, and my wife in this situation as well, is we have, a 401k from my employer. My wife has an IRA left over from a past job that she was in, and we both are investing in Roth IRAs. So we're actually going to have this blend. Some of the money that I take out of my 401k in the future, I'll have to pay taxes on, and money we take out of her IRA in the future, we'll have to pay taxes on. But the money that we've invested in our Roth IRAs, we will not be paying taxes on. So we'll have a little bit of a blend, and that's kind of part of the diversification process that is healthy in terms of financial planning anyway. So that really works out. Now, another thing to keep in mind is you get to baby step number 4 and you're saving 15% of your gross household income. This would probably be a good time, if you haven't already, to start to talk to a financial advisor and a financial planner. Okay, and finding somebody that you can trust is really, really important. Somebody who's going to have your best interests at heart, because you don't want somebody who's just involved in investing your money, just giving you something that, oh, this will work for you, but they're actually getting a financial kickback from what they're buying for you on their behalf. So it's really important to find a financial advisor who really has your best interests at heart, who's going to invest your money like it was their money, who they're actually going to help you pick the best financial options and best financial vehicles to achieve your goals with you and for you, and not what's going to help them get ahead and them make better commissions. They really need to put your needs first. So that's really, really key in picking a good financial advisor. If this was useful to you and you want more Passionately Catholic content, be sure to subscribe to our channel. A special huge thank you going out to our patrons, especially on Patreon, who make everything we do at Passionately Catholic possible. I wish you all God's blessings and peace, and I look forward to being in touch again very soon.